Hey, I'm so sorry. I just don't want to talk about that right now. Yeah, let's talk about that one. Hey guys, Randy here with The Living Adventure. Hey, thank you for joining me on this video. And yeah, I think we all have experienced that interaction with another person when we start to expose a little bit about our emotional being or how we're feeling about something, and we get shut down. The other person isn't interested in hearing how we feel, or at least that's the perception that we get from them. The sometimes the reality of that is that this other person has built a very fragile wall around their own emotional being, that hearing other people's emotions on any level jeopardizes that wall. And because they don't know how to handle their own internal emotions in an acceptable way, they would prefer to avoid it altogether. And we run into a lot of that where, emotional management is not something that's taught to us. It's something that we're expected to automatically, have magically form in our lives as we travel through life. But the reality of it is that's not the case. We have to, it's like any skill, we have to learn how to develop it, how to manage it, and how to wield it. I often relate our emotional being to the concept of a sword, and it's not a sword of aggression. It's a sword of protection. It's also a sword of defense, and occasionally can be aggressive. How we wield that sword, takes time, practice, and patience. We have to learn first and foremost whether we pull the sword out of its sheath or not. A lot of people are afraid to do that, and not realizing that they don't know how to even manage the sword. It's too heavy, or it's too awkward for them. And this is what creates this avoidance in other people when it comes to talking about or listening to other people when it comes to emotional states or feelings. And what we're migrating into is a society that is just, and we've done this for a very long time, migrated into the society where we just avoid any emotional connections with other people whatsoever. It's just a taboo, like, hey, I don't want to talk about your emotions, you don't talk about my emotions, and let's just pretend they don't exist. The reality of our lives is that we are emotional beings, and the more that we suppress our emotions, the more that we box them up, or as I call it, dam them inside of us, the more they tend to build up and cause us health issues, stress, problems in our lives, relationships, jobs. And I do believe that's part of the reason AI is really being thrown at us in such a dramatic way. One is they say it's efficient. People are not efficient, right? Largely because we're emotional. But AI has zero emotion, absolutely none. And so this could be a good thing, and it can also be a very devastating thing coming forward, in the fact that we're literally transitioning from not talking about our emotions to having a vehicle presented to us that is absolutely non-emotional, will not understand emotions, will not consider them, and I think that's a dangerous thing in the reality, because again, we as human beings are emotional creatures. Learning how to manage our emotions effectively is the key, right? And the key to success is, have a healthy amount of caring, have a healthy amount of joy and purpose, and but also have a healthy amount of aggression, right? Defensiveness, right? Because they all have to balance each other out, and they are connected to one another. But how do we do that? What's the secret behind joining all these emotions together? Is it suppressing them? Is it not talking about them? I don't think so. I know for a fact that those that engage in conversations regarding their emotional being tend to be happier, more productive, and more successful. And internally, they feel good. They feel like they have a belonging in life. So give it some thought, guys. Like, don't suppress your emotions. Try to embrace them and realize that, you know, this isn't going away. No matter how hard you try to bury your emotions, they're not going away. So if you really want to help yourself, then start working on your emotional being. I hope this helps. Cheers.